Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me okay. If so, let me know. Do we have anybody here with us right now? Just waiting for some people to come in, but we'll talk about some of the topics that are going on. Right now, a lot of the members are heading down to DC for Rally for America. There's going to be a lot of speakers there. The rally is actually going on from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. today. It says bring your American flag, so you have all day to get on down there if you'd like. Also, let's talk about the latest news and what we have going on, which is all the MS-13 violence that is taking place. As we know, President Trump and Department of Homeland Security Director John Kelly has done an outstanding job in starting to round up all the criminal alien gang members, which President called animals, and they truly are animals. If you go back and look at the last few years and the increase in MS-13 related crimes in Montgomery County, you'll find numerous rapes and murders and assaults, drug trafficking, human trafficking, excuse me, and so on. During the White House press briefing this week, Deputy Associate Attorney Herr, who was sworn in 5 weeks ago, to let everyone know that recently 16 MS-13 gang members out of Montgomery County were arrested and charged with racketeering charges, which included murder and rape and extortion and anything else related to racketeering. You can go on the website. I have the press briefing linked up there. I also want to thank our friends WCBM Radio in Baltimore for giving us a shout out on the story. I will say that I do have some intelligence information which I can't share right now, but let's just say what happened in Montgomery County recently is just the beginning of what's about to take place. Help is on the way. Our citizens and lawful immigrants are going to be freed of these criminal animals that are roaming our streets, that the Montgomery County Council and Sheriff's Department refuse to work with Homeland Security and ICE on detainers. Which brings us to Attorney General Brian Frosh of Maryland, who sent out a guidance memorandum a few months ago instructing all law enforcement officials in the state of Maryland not to comply with detainers, but to force them to get warrants if they want to be able to hold any of these illegal alien criminals in our state. So basically, you know, they could be charged with a domestic violence arrest. They can go into court and get a court date, get let back out onto the street, and never show up, because if ICE has to get a warrant, it takes 48 hours, and by that time the criminal alien's already back out on the street. So You have lack of support from Attorney General Brian Frosh, who refuses to work with local law enforcement. You have sanctuary counties in Prince George's County, Montgomery County, Howard County, Baltimore County, and Baltimore City, all who have refused to cooperate with ICE. Baltimore City, which has become the Chicago of the East, has now had over 200 murders in the first part of this year, setting a new record for them. You would figure Mayor Pugh would want to call in for help, but I guess she doesn't want to help Maryland and help Baltimore City clean its act up of all the vicious murders and crimes that are taking place down there. So anyway, if you have any questions, please feel free to comment and send me some questions, and I will answer them for you if anybody's actually watching. This is our first Facebook live stream event, and we're going to be having more and more on a weekly basis. Currently, my name's Jeff Horner. I am the social media director for Help Save Maryland, and I handle all things social media. Right now we're doing upgrades to the website and all across our social media platforms so that we can get the people's voice out to everyone that'll listen. That includes your politicians and anybody else you want to vent to or get a message out to. So we're here to provide that for you. Also, we set up a Skype account. Well, I set up a Skype account this morning. If you want to Skype me and talk personally without having to go through Facebook or Messenger, you can just go through and search in Skype. If you have it, Help Save Maryland. That's all one word, Help Save Maryland. And feel free to Skype me and I will talk to you privately. Anyway, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask. As many of you know, I've been going through and dealing with some pretty bad health issues over the last 8 months. By me being able to work on the Trust Act and helping to defeat the Trust Act and getting a lot of the national media involved, it was able to help keep me going. I'm so proud of everybody in Maryland that stood up and fought for the sovereignty and sanctity and the enforcement of law in our state. Sanctuary cities and sanctuary counties are not going to be tolerated. We're constantly at battle with them. They will be seeing their funds get cut, whether they like it or not. Kevin Caminant, Baltimore County executive, has proclaimed Baltimore County a sanctuary county. But it doesn't really matter to him because he's termed out and he's going to be running for governor. And a couple of people I know so far that I have heard that are going to be running for county councilman or county exec in Baltimore County is Senator Jim Burchin, Pat McDonough, and a couple others that will be in the race. But what's most important is we keep the 3 conservative council members in place and replace the 4 liberal far left council members replaced. We need to get some good conservative values on the Baltimore County Council so that we can get that policy changed and get the sanctuary status removed from Baltimore County. What people don't realize, as it was just stated by ICE Director Homan, is by allowing these sanctuary cities and counties to exist, you're promoting crime in your own communities. You're not even protecting your own lawful citizens and immigrants that are allowed to be here. You'd let these people back out onto the street, such as what happened to Kate Steinle, and they slip through the cracks and they create heinous acts. We've seen that in Montgomery County, Maryland, happen as well. People have been released without detainers because of Montgomery County's lack of enforcement to work with DHS and ICE to hold these criminals. And they get back out, they commit more crimes over and over again. Howard County has codified a policy that makes it comfortable for illegal immigrants to live in that county without having to work with ICE or DHS. Baltimore City has a policy in place for all Baltimore City policemen to not engage with federal authorities regarding ICE and DHS. PG County has been that way for a very long time, and County Executive Sharon Baker is going to be running for governor. So you have to make sure that you remind the citizens of Maryland that both he and cabinets support sanctuary policies. My guess is after the 2018 election, if Governor Hogan doesn't get reelected, the General Assembly will bring the Trust Act back, and that's something we don't want to have happen. We must applaud Frederick County. Sheriff Chuck Jenkins is doing a yeoman's job, not just for his county, but he's doing it for the state as a whole. His program 287G has now been adopted in Harford County with Sheriff Jeff Gaylor, and Anne Arundel County Council has also applied for the 287G program, which is very beneficial. It helps helps remove these criminal alien MS-13 gang members out of our society. And as the president says, we're going to get them the hell out of there. Speaking of MS-13, there was an article that was published yesterday by Tisha Lewis from Fox TV that was talking about the White House press briefing and how she was mentioning in the article, and you can Google Tisha Lewis and you can pull that article up, talking about the vast number of MS-13 members that are in Northern Virginia. Well, that mass amount of criminal MS-13 gang members are also residing in Montgomery County. And what a lot of people don't know is that they are migrating back and forth from Northern Virginia, Montgomery County, and Prince George's County. Casa de Maryland, pro-illegal immigrant group, goes to any length possible to protect criminal aliens from being discharged and removed and deported. They've actually sent out documentation to illegal immigrants, what to do in case ICE detains them, what their rights are. And basically, I feel as though they don't have any rights, but apparently under the Constitution, they're afforded Fourth Amendment rights. I still don't understand that because you're here in the country illegally, and I don't know where it says in the Constitution that illegal immigrants have constitutional rights, although the Supreme Court upheld a couple years ago that they do. But that was under a different Supreme Court. Now we have Justice Neil Gorsuch on there, and he is a staunch constitutionalist or originalist who tips this scale of justice and will uphold the law as it is on the books and the way it should be without politics involved. Too many of these judges have become too political, as you've seen with the travel ban. Brian Frosh is filing frivolous lawsuits against President Trump to the tunes of millions and millions of Maryland tax-paying dollars. But where is he on gangs? Where is he on the MS-13 violence that's taking place in his home county of Montgomery County? That's where he's from. That's where he became a senator in the State House. He's done nothing. Absolutely nothing. But if you go on his website and you look at the issues, you'll find that 70% is fighting Trump's agenda. Brian Frosh has completely ignored the citizens of Maryland, and these politicians that are fighting citizens who are trying to bring law and order to their communities and asking for help to rid them of the crime infestation that's taken place are being completely ignored. I email him all the time. Where's Brian? He's nowhere to be found. You know, it's sad what Maryland's turned into. I grew up during the days of the true blue collar Democrat, which today would be considered a Republican. JFK's policies would be considered Republican compared to today's radical liberal agenda. We must continue to hold these politicians accountable, and we must continue to contact them and let them know what they're doing is wrong, and it puts your lives at risk. You must hold them accountable in 2018. Anyone, any delegate, any senator from Maryland that is associated with Casa de Maryland who helped write the policy for the Maryland Trust Act needs to be voted out in 2018. They have to go. And if you have any questions or if you know of any strong candidates that you want to get out there, please feel free to get in touch with Patrick OKeefe at the Maryland GOP. He will gladly get in touch with you and work with you on a plan to help you out and to move forward. So we've already covered a lot. So basically, I'm going to keep on fighting for the people of Maryland. I'm going to keep on holding the politicians accountable. I'm going to continue our fight for what I call justice. And I think the rest of you should do the same. Anyway, let's just end it on that note, because I feel as though I got most of the issues out of the way. And next week we will lengthen the live video, and hopefully we'll get some people on for interviews, and we'll go over some more news of the week. So now I'd like to say to everyone, God bless, have a great weekend, help save Maryland, help save the United States of America. Goodbye.